I'm Miles Jenner, and I'm Head Brewer and Joint Managing Director of Harveys. Well, as Head Brewer, you are responsible for the product from purchasing raw materials through to the finished product in trade, but obviously you have a lot of people within a team that back you up on that, and it's basically coordinating and still very much hands-on. I think if you're going to brew, you've got to be there. It's the most important thing that you achieve consistency and quality, and you do that by having routines, and they can be boring, but they are essential. I think the most exciting thing is the sense of romance and continuity that one has with every brew. Every brew is an adventure. No two brews are exactly the same, and you've got to be on your alert for it. And there's a great sense of wonder when you stand at a mash tun at 6 in the morning brewing, and you think, brewers have stood here for 150 years on this spot doing what I'm doing week in, week out, and there is that marvellous feeling, as I say, of continuity and romance.
Yeah. And after almost 40 years, that still gives you a buzz.
Still gives me a big buzz, yeah, absolutely. We've been through flood, fire and pestilence, I always say. We had a fire with our offices in 1996, which went up, which was quite dramatic, and could have taken the brewery with it if the wind had been in the other direction and our spirit store had caught, I think. We've had 2 floods in my lifetime that have gone through the brewery, and I think that was a big memory, because we had water in the height of 6 foot for 36 hours. Our loss adjuster went back to our insurers when the tide went out and said, look, they're going to be out of production for 3 months, probably 6. So business interruption was obviously a consideration. And in the event, we turned it round in 9 days. And it was, a lot of luck on our side, but to come in and brew that Sunday morning, 9 days after the flood, when Lewis, the smell of the flood was horrible. I mean, it's water and fire, ghastly in the aftermath, and scaffolding up along the high street, all the shops flooded, and we started brewing on that Sunday, and the smell of brewing went up the stack, and I went home for breakfast after I'd mashed, and somebody had put a card through the door, and it just said, Lewis has come alive with the smell of brewing. And it's one of my most treasured possessions.
Oh, wow.
Well, I was weaned on Harvey's best bitter. My father was head brewer before me. And I'd be a terrible thing to say, but I was drinking beer from a very early age in the sample room. He had a belief that, as brewers, you had a respect for beer, and didn't see anything wrong in me sitting with him in the sample room, age 4, having a glass of beer on a Sunday morning. I think that is one of the loveliest things about Harvey's best bitter, because I can remember that taste as a child, exactly how it tasted, and it had that sort of slightly dough-like quality that you can get, and freshness, and you can brew then. Another 65 years on, and I can go downstairs of an evening and draw a glass of beer from a cask, and I can think, that is exactly what it tasted like. And it doesn't always hit you like that, but it's there, and sometimes it comes through so forcibly. And that to me is marvellous. So best bitter will always be my joy. But I love the wild hop trial that we're doing at the moment. It's really a very interesting hop come through. We're using Harlequin on it, which is a new English variety. But the one thing I would say is that we do not intend to brew with foreign hops. The only foreign hop we use is the Lubelski that we use on our Pilsner, which I felt we wanted to do, because it's from Poland and part of the old Prussian Empire. Otherwise, no, we're all English hops, and if we do new varieties that are more citrus and floral and what have you, there'll be new English varieties that we're experimenting with.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Want to keep our hop growers
New
going.
English, not New England.
No, absolutely no. We need to find hops that hop growers in this country can brew, and which people will take up and adopt, because quite honestly, what's the point in bringing hops across water when you've got the finest hop growers in the world on your doorstep?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you've been doing this job for quite some time. Any plans to hang up your hat anytime, or are you just going to carry on till you
till I drop?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lovely thought, but in reality, I have to be realistic, and you can drop at any time. So I think I am working very hard on a succession at the moment. I've got some very good team members, and that is my goal, to be in a position where if I did walk out the door, things would carry on as well, if not better. That is my goal. Okay.